going to start with a nice 62% dark chocolate. You can use any kind of chocolate you want, but I love a good dark chocolate. We're going to microwave this at 15-second intervals. Every 15 seconds we're going to stir it to really move those cocoa butter crystals around and make sure it tempers nice and evenly. Tempering is what's going to give it that beautiful shine and a nice snap. When you're doing this, use a forehead thermometer if you have one to check and make sure your chocolate doesn't go above 90 degrees. If it gets above 90 degrees, you're going to lose the oils and that beautiful color and shine to your chocolate. If it does get a little too hot, what you can do is add a little bit more extra chocolate to it to slow it down, or simply change the container. This motion will help cool down the chocolate a little bit. It's looking perfect. Now get yourself a silicone chocolate mold or candy mold and a paintbrush. We're going to take the melted chocolate and brush the inside of each mold, making sure we cover all the area of the mold. This is going to be the outer shell of the hot chocolate bomb, and we're going to do this in a few steps. Go through and brush into all the molds. Don't worry if it comes over on the sides, you can always shave that off after once it cools. This is going to go in the refrigerator for 5 minutes, and when it comes out you'll see the chocolate set a little bit, and we're going to apply another coating. This part is important to get all those little spots that you missed when you were applying your first coat of chocolate. So make sure you go through and look from both sides and all angles. I want to refrigerate that again for 5 minutes until it sets and apply one final coating. Now at this point your melted chocolate is going to be a little bit thicker, and that's not a bad thing because it's going to give a nice thick inside layer to the hot chocolate bomb. So that's good too because it's going to make it a little bit stronger, a little less fragile. So go through and paint every bomb again with a slightly thicker melted chocolate, and we're going to place it back in the refrigerator for 5 minutes. I want to crush up some candy canes. This is going to be the decoration and a little bit of peppermint flavor, mini marshmallows, and a hot chocolate packet. Once our hot chocolate bomb shells have set, we're going to pop them out of the silicone mold, and this is why this mold is so important. You can see the sheen, the smooth texture of it, the nice color. It looks absolutely beautiful. We're going to take our hot chocolate powder and pour it inside one of these sides. Add our marshmallows, and then we're going to use some of our melted chocolate to paint around the edges. This is going to be like a glue to kind of hold it together. Once it comes together, let it set for a minute. We're going to grab our melted chocolate and go through and fill any little gaps or open areas that we have on the hot chocolate bomb. And let this set for another few minutes on the counter, and then we're going to go through and do an additional coating of more chocolate. I know you're thinking this looks kind of rough, but I got a way to cover that up. After our second coating, we're going to roll in that crushed candy canes. That's going to cover up all those marks where we added that melted chocolate and give a nice, beautiful, festive decoration. At this point now, we're going to temper some white chocolate in the microwave using the same 15-second method. The only difference here is that you want to make sure your chocolate doesn't get above 86 degrees. If the white chocolate gets above 86 degrees, it's going to start to really crystallize on you and clump up, and we want a nice, smooth, melted white chocolate. That's looking perfect. Now I like to add a little bit of the white chocolate right to the top of the hot chocolate bomb, and then dip that whole thing in some crushed candy canes. This gives a very ornamental look, like a Christmas tree ornament. Set this aside for another 5-10 minutes on the counter until it's fully set, and you have a hot chocolate bomb. Another great way to garnish is to take that melted hot chocolate and just drizzle it over all the hot chocolate bombs. Looks really fun and festive, adds a little bit of color. Place it in a mug. You want to pour some hot milk all over it, and this is when the magic happens. And I always love to garnish my hot chocolate with the candy cane and some peppermint bark.